I'm at my happy place. This is where I spent most of my life coming since I've been 16 years old. It's been a place that's been such a refuge for me in my recovery from something I rarely speak of, and I buried it for almost 40 years. And I'm here to tell you, you can't bury your trauma. You really have to meet it head on. And for me, I was so glad just to be alive. And the experience of childbirth is supposed to be something that's supposed to be beautiful and wondrous and hopeful. And I came out of the hospital with my insides gone and with this little baby, my only baby I would ever have. And I made a decision that I would bury this so deep that I would never talk about what happened to me, because I didn't want other women to even hear it, because it was unspeakable. So I did file and spend 7 years with a medical malpractice that resulted in overturning a law in the state to allow survivors to get not medical records, personnel records of doctors. And I also had a class in medical school. So I tried to make a horrific thing positive. I'm very good at making lemonade. But I buried it and never spoke of the egregious care I got, or the 7 long years that I litigated it. I promised once I settled, I would put it behind me. Over the years, I've been a practitioner of yoga. Yoga saved my life. That was a major moment in my life. The most recent major moment was getting involved with Four Corners Yoga, which is primarily a BIPOC studio in Dorchester. But at that time, I went through the experience of the murder of George Floyd, and that literally transformed my life. I went deep inside to find out really all the things I was conditioned, and how I had to break that down and unlearn and relearn and become not just an ally, but an accomplice, and breaking down white supremacy, breaking down capitalism and all these systems that make us less than. And I did it with the medical establishment. I held them accountable. But over the years, I had really bad stomach issues. And I went for many years, almost a decade, talking about this. And my primary care just told me to take more laxatives, drink more water, walk. And recently, 2026 was a very destabilizing year for me. I'm sure for many of us, just with everything that's going on in the world. I have a dear daughter-in-law whose family's in Iran. There's just so much going on. A few things happened in my family that destabilized me, but then I lost my home here in Maine, and that was a shocker. But I dug deep in my training. I made it happen. But what's recently happened is I went to the doctor, and he pushed me off onto, thank God, his beautiful nurse practitioner who's curious, who's compassionate. And she went over my medical record with a fine-tooth comb and found that in 2014, I had a small cyst that's now the size of an eggplant. In addition, with all the scar tissue I had, it's affected my bowels. So I'm a week away from going in for major abdominal surgery, as I'm trying to build back my house from an ice burst pipes. But I'm here to tell you, don't cry for me. Don't feel sorry for me. I'm a very lucky person. I'm lucky to be alive. I'm lucky that I held the system responsible for what they did. But now the healing begins. I now know why I became a trauma-informed yoga teacher. Because I need to hold the system to account some more. And I'm not done. I'm going to get through this surgery. And I'm going to have a healing center. Not a center, but a place that people can come, soak in the sun, listen to the surf, sit in my garden, soak up the great tribal nation of the Abenaki and all its healing properties. And I'm going to live the best life I can.